What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about boxes, and specifically these yellow ones. The other yellow ones, right? You guys have seen me make videos like this before, but I figured after like a year of actually using them in the boat, and not just like switching everything over, but really like using them for a season, I figured I'd give my 2 cents. And yes, these are the Buzbe boxes, the Colony 28s. I do have one of their new ones. It's a little bit deeper. We'll hit that later. But yeah, come take a look. I mean, obviously you guys can see I have literally every single bin I have in here is a Buzbe bin. I got the 28s. I got the small ones here for like terminal tackle. We'll get into that. And everything's laid out. It's uniform. I'm like anal about that kind of thing. It looks really nice. It looks good. These boxes are heavy duty. They're the real deal. They're a modular design. I can show you kind of how that looks, you know, in terms of popping all these things out. And again, I'm just going to kind of high level, but like they have a bunch of different sizes and such. So I can grab, you know, like a 1x2 and put them there, and like they just click in. Like there's a lot of things you can do with them. I'm assuming that you guys already know a little bit about it. I just thought I'd touch on, like, again, I've been using them for a year. Do they get beat up? What does the inside look like? Is there rust? How are the hinges doing, latches, all that stuff, right? So let's first talk about the outside. These things are tough, man. Like I've seen guys like run trucks over them and stuff, and I know they do that for like other companies, and I mean, they're expensive. They're solid. They should hold up to abuse. Run a truck over, that's kind of excessive. But I have yet to break one. I've never busted a hinge, a latch, or like, you know, a cracking or anything like that. And I beat them up, and they take a beating when you're trailer and all that fun stuff. So in terms of like heavy dutiness, like quality, like 10 out of 10. I don't think there is a box that actually is more solid and better built. I even had some of these for like ice fishing stuff, and like I threw them in the water, like a box full of tungsten ice jigs, like several $100s in tungsten, and they just like sit there and floats because they're all sealed. They all have the rubber around the outside. In the last video I mentioned that like they stack, right? So like they have these grooves in the top of here that allows one to sit on the other, and they won't, see it, it's not sliding off, you know? Like literally it just, they stay attached. That's really nice when you're trying to stack them in and out. One of the things that I've run into issues with, and this is just reality, is when I have like a bunch of them side to side like this, they want to stick together. And these bins, because the way they're constructed, don't have like a giant lever on them or something to grab them. So literally to grab these out, sometimes I have to like grab a bin, open it and pull it with that. But again, it's really minimal. Would I like to see a hand on there? Absolutely. It just isn't in that tooling, in the shape, whatever. But I mean, I just grab a thing and they come right out. And I'd still rather have that feature, because there's a lot of times where like I'll set these in the deck or be rigging, or like I like that they stay on top of each other. But yeah, it's one thing when you're stacking them like this in a bass boat, you're gonna have to probably lift the thing open. I figured I would grab like my jig box, my frog box, maybe like a terminal tackle box, and like show you guys how I have them laid out, because they come in a bunch of different sizes and one of your options. When you buy a Colony 28, they give you like a little bit of everything, which is good because then you learn what you like. But like, for example, jig box, I wanted everything in 1x2s. And I have enough of them where I have them by weight and by shape. I have like swim jigs there, I got flipping jigs, I got all kinds of different colors and such. In fact, I think these are all swimming or dock jigs. I don't think any of these are football jigs. And so like I had it all in the 1x2s. It just worked for me. That's the best, you know, the situation I found. Again, it was neat, organized. I go to my frogs, and I got a couple things because I have a couple different kinds of frogs. I got like new ones in the 4x4s, and then I got 3 slats of the, I think this is 1x6s, because I got a couple of these frogs that are a little bit longer, like tackle frog, and I didn't want them like, you know, pinching up in a 1x4 or a 4x4, excuse me. This is kind of unorganized, but you get the deal. I use different layouts for my frog box. Where the layouts come like in super handy mode is terminal tackle. So Ned rig. These are the 1x1s. This is my Ned rig and drop shot. All of it's tungsten. And when you're using terminal tackle, well, here you can show it. It's a good example of it. All that stuff's gonna wear off eventually, but compared to most boxes and most things I have that are chipping or rust, these things like take a beating. So is there a little wear and tear from these sitting here rattling the boat all the time? Yes. Is it like actually digging into the plastic? No. And honestly, compared to any other box, it's still like light years above anything else. So you can see I got all my Swagger tungsten Ned heads, and all per size. I got nail weights, drop shots, I mean, all kinds of stuff in here, right? And the 1x1s, like, for a guy that's like anal about getting everything organized, dude, it's clutch. And I have these all on the side here. I go to my flipping weights, right? Same thing. These things take a beating because all they do is sit here and like rattle around. But everything's in their own thing. It's a 1x1. Can you put the 4x4s in here? 100%. you get a 4x4 like this, you set it in there, it'd work just fine. But for terminal tackle, I like the 1x1s. So again, they're holding up. They're a modular system. I can custom any one I want to whatever thing or lure I want. The biggest thing that's been a letdown is like holding big baits in it, like big DTs, 10XDs, 6XDs, big swim baits. You want a deeper cavity than just a one model. I think that's the biggest thing that really isn't nothing to complain about. It's just more because the company's new and growing that they don't have enough SKUs to like give you an option. Well, one, I know that's changing because they're doing badass things, but two, we have a deep one now. So now, now we have what I want to say, what most people would call like a size 30 or 300. Like now you have your deep box. Stuff that can hold those big crankbaits. I mean, this is a 16. I got 6XDs in here. These are DT, I think that's a DT, that's a Lucky Craft actually. DT10s. I don't have any like giant ones, but even like a cliff banger, like a 15-foot crankbait. The deeper ones, obviously quite a bit deeper, allow you to do that. So there's options there. Now, I will be honest, I don't think there's a lot of use for like the 1x1s in this situation, unless you're like putting crankbaits like vertically, like up and down. Maybe that's why we like to store them. But me, honestly, I just throw them like my crawdad patterns, my 10-footers, my deep ones with bluegills here. I just kind of mix them up. But having the option to have a bigger box and like a deeper box for your crankbaits, for your swim baits, for anything that you need the room for is clutch. And I really do think that you're going to see them come out with more and more SKUs that way. And I think, again, they're a young company. So a lot of people will compare these to pretty much two brands, your Bass Mafia, your Coffins, and your Plano Edge boxes. And what I would go with, and depending on what kind of angler you are and what your budget is, every one of those things are different. This really does give you the option to customize whatever size you want. And if you're like me and you like to have that modularity and switch things up, I would recommend them. I think there is no better built box. So if you're worried about banging them up, I think these are phenomenal. And again, as they grow, I think they're just going to have more and more SKUs. So I know that's a lot of talking. I'm out of breath. But again, a year into it, I love them. I will continue to have these. I haven't found a reason to switch to anything else. And especially for the tackle, the way I have it, it's perfect. So if you guys have any questions on any of them, any experiences that I've had with them since then, since I made that first video, or anything that I didn't mention, something that I'm forgetting, comment below. I'd be happy to ask. I'll put the link to these guys' website in the description so you can go check them out, look at them. Again, I think they're probably, if you haven't seen them before, you're gonna be impressed. They went about the whole tackle storage thing differently, which I, again, always think is cool to be a little different. So that's it. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. Comment below if you have any questions. And until the next video, see you, bye.